Victory or death! Give them hell!
Good morning, ladies and gents, back with another Conquerors Blade video, and this time around we're going to be looking at an absolute sleeper unit, which I believe a lot more people should be playing. Before we get into the video though, hit that subscribe button if you want to be kept up to date with the latest and greatest of Conquerors Blade. So then, the game Conquerors Blade has got a buttload of different units, and because of that, a lot of units actually go under the radar, and people don't actually realise just how good some units are. Now, there is a unit that I have been playing recently that I just cannot now be without, and the amount of kills, the amount of carnage it absolutely causes in every single match that I play is undeniable. It is an incredible unit, and some of the gameplay footage that you're going to be seeing in this video just goes to prove it. This is the Imperial Javelins. This is such an underrated unit, not a lot of people use them, and they are an incredible unit that I could just not be without now. So what I used to think was, for the Javelineers, obviously you have two purple Javelins, you have the Imperial Javelins and you have the Javelin Sergeants. Javelin Sergeants do come equipped with more ammo, and they also come equipped with a skill which actually allows them to throw 3 javelins in pretty quick succession as well, whereas the Imperial Javelins don't have as much ammo and you can only throw a javelin once every few seconds. However, the difference in the stats between them is phenomenal. I'm not going to make this video about Imperial Javs versus the Jav Sergeants. I just want to showcase the Imperial Javelins and why you should be playing them. So I'm going to go into their unit tab and actually show you on the stats page just how heavy hitting these guys are, and also my veterancy lines that I have built for them and the reasons why. I will go into that in a sec, but just going over and having a look at all the stats and everything. Their piercing armor, penetration and piercing damage are really high. That is pretty much all they use, although they do use a little bit of blunt damage if you are getting them into melee, because they will use their shield as an attack. And there is a skill in the veterancy tree which actually allows them to use a flying shield, which is really useful. But just quickly going back over their stats and everything, you get a fair amount of them in the unit. You get 30 of these guys. They do a huge amount of damage, genuinely. It's a huge amount of damage to both units and to heroes. Because they are a purple unit as well, they can actually hold their ground a little bit in melee. They are comparable to, I would say probably they are definitely at the kind of level that Paladins are, that Tesserics are, so they're a fairly decent melee unit. However, their real strength is in their javelins. If you are using their javelins right, if you are timing the javelins right, then you can pump out a lot of damage very quickly, and then you can get them into melee and actually just clear up everything they've just buttered up with their javelins. They are a very underused unit, and they are very good both in attack and defense. These guys also can actually take out siege towers, which is absolutely crazy. So if you use them to use their javelins against a siege tower, they do a big amount of damage against them, and I have taken out siege towers with these guys before. That is just how good they are. So going back to the veterancy line and everything, so I go up to the top bit and just put a couple of points in here because it increases their melee attack rate and their critical value a bit. I don't go all the way over to strong strikes though, because actually I'm not going to have enough points for that anyway. It would be nice to have that one, but I think the use of flying shield, or increases the use of flying shield, is a lot better actually than the attacking enemies can daze them. Their flying shield does a lot of damage, and it is cool to see when you are running past these guys just literally launching their shield at stuff and causing a load of damage, but then also going over and stabbing it as well is quite good to see. Flying shield also causes bleed damage, which inflicts damage over time as well, so it does catch a lot of heroes and it catches a lot of units out. This flying shield honestly is really good. Now, the reason why I have actually gone up this line and not the range javelin line, which is the line down the bottom here, is actually these guys I would say are very good in melee, and people don't expect them to be very good in melee. So people go charging into these guys, trying to fight them, thinking that they're easy squishy kind of target, and they just get absolutely plastered by them. These guys really can hold their own against both infantry, ranged and cav, and they do a big amount of damage to all three types of kind of units. Obviously they are susceptible to getting overwhelmed when they're in that kind of shield formation as well. They are very susceptible to back attacks, so they're not totally OP, but they are definitely one of the top tier units. I take these guys into every game, and most games they come out as MVP of the unit because they are just absolutely insane. You can use your javelins. You get about 4 or 5 javelins per kind of turn before you have to run back to the supply point and get more javelins. But like I said, once you run out of javelins, if you are kind of stuck, then you can actually chuck these guys into melee, and they are going to do a pretty decent amount of damage against any unit they are fighting. I have taken out not whole units of, but pretty much half, 3/4 units of Silahadars, Reapers and stuff like that, just using these guys with their javelins and their melee kind of in combination. So it goes to show just how strong these guys are, because remember, this is only a level 19 purple unit going up against level 30 golden units. These guys are really holding their own, so I really do recommend you play these, give them a go and see what your thoughts are on them. I prefer the Imperial Javs a lot more so than I do the Imperial, or not the Imperial, the Javelin Sergeants. Javelin Sergeants are decent, but their javelins don't pack as much power. They're not very good in melee at all. The Javelin Sergeants get really overwhelmed really quickly. They do have a lot of ammo. They've got a far greater amount of ammo than the Imperial Javs, but to be honest, the amount of times that I actually use them and you kind of get yourself stuck in a corner or you get rushed by stuff, I find that actually with the Imp Javs, because they can actually hold their own in melee, a lot of times they manage to get out of that kind of fight and go back and resupply and recover and all the rest of it, whereas the Jav Sergeants kind of get overwhelmed, killed, and then you totally lose them, which is a shame. Really good unit though. Really hope that actually you go and give these guys a go. Give them a go on the veterancy tree line that I use. Give them a go differently as well with the other veterancy trees, and let me know your thoughts down below. Do you use these guys? Are you going to use them? What are your thoughts on them compared to the Jav Sergeants? Always interested to know. But I'm going to leave the video there. Thank you very much for watching, folks. As always, I hope you have enjoyed this one. If you have, please hit that like button, hit that sub button, share this video around, leave me a comment down below, and I hope to catch you out on the battlefield.